All right, let's jump right into this explainer. I want to start by tackling a massive misconception right out of the gate. You've probably seen it. This incredibly popular idea that ancient Stoicism is just some tool to build an impenetrable shield against the chaos of the modern world. If you spend any time online, you've definitely seen this philosophy packaged as a life hack. A way to tune out difficult people, put up a mental wall, and just create this perfect, uninterrupted little bubble of personal success. But the thing is, true self-mastery isn't about isolating yourself from the world at all. It's actually about recognizing your profound, unavoidable connection to the community around you.
Take a look at this contrast here, because it's pretty wild. We've got modern hustle culture pitching Stoicism as an operating system for extreme individualism. We're told, hey, this will help you achieve fame, score a bigger salary, or land that massive job promotion. But here's the reality check. If your internal operating system is focused purely on achieving those external milestones, you're actually creating an inherently unstable mindset. It's a house of cards.
So why is that mindset so wobbly? Well, the philosopher Epictetus laid it out perfectly with what he called the indifference. He's talking about external things, stuff like our property, our reputation, our office, or social standing. The reason you can't build a stable philosophy around these is, frankly, they're just not entirely within your power. I mean, think about it. To get a promotion or build wealth, you need good fortune. You need the market to cooperate, and crucially, you need other people to get with your program. Relying on things outside your control is literally the exact opposite of what Stoicism was designed for.
And seriously, we need a massive reality check when we look at the people who actually founded and practiced these ideas. Take Marcus Aurelius. The guy was the emperor of Rome. He possessed absolute, actually let's call it what it was, unimaginable power and wealth. Yet all that power couldn't shield him from a profoundly harsh reality. He was constantly dealing with perpetual wars, military mutinies, and devastating plagues. And on a personal level, tragically, he had to endure the loss of almost every single child his wife gave birth to.
So looking at the absolutely heartbreaking difficulties of his life, do you honestly believe his philosophy was just some self-help life hack? Do you think he was writing his famous meditations just to secure a bigger salary or to, tune out distractions so he could hit a new PR in a dark gym? No way. Reducing this profound philosophy to a self-optimization trick just completely strips away its actual power and purpose. To find that real purpose, we gotta look back to Zeno, the original founder of Stoicism. He taught that the ultimate goal of all this isn't to secure a nice life full of pleasure and external rewards. The real goal is achieving what the Greeks called eudaimonia, the good life. This means a life truly worthy of being lived. And you don't get there by hiding from the world. You achieve eudaimonia by actively using your reason to act courageously, justly, and wisely right in the middle of the real, messy world.
To actually practice Stoicism today, we have to embrace the philosophy of the Beehive. And this is built on 3 actionable rules. 1. Recognizing you are not an isolated branch. 2. Understanding the connection between the bee and the hive. And 3. Protecting the physical hive. Let's break these down.
Starting with rule number 1. You are not an isolated branch.
Marcus Aurelius had this beautiful way of putting it. He noted that a branch cut away from its neighboring branch is necessarily cut away from the whole tree. He completely understood that we are guaranteed to meet people who are ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, or just plain envious. But his conclusion wasn't to hate them. It wasn't to isolate himself. When you separate yourself from an annoying neighbor out of hatred, you essentially act as an isolated branch. You're severing yourself from the wider society.
What this means is we really have to rethink how we respond to conflict. Sitting on the fence, ignoring bad behavior, scoffing at someone else's plate just because it's easier to stay in your lane, that is not Stoicism. True Stoicism does not want you retreating into a carefully designed, cozy echo chamber. Instead, it empowers us to use our active reason. It pushes us to figure out what we can actively do to solve problems, not just for our own peace of mind, but for the broader good of our whole community. Which brings us perfectly to rule number 2, the bee and the hive.
I absolutely love this concept, and this quote from Marcus Aurelius hits the nail right on the head for this whole explainer. What brings no benefit to the hive brings no benefit to the bee. You literally cannot separate the two. Your individual pursuit of virtue is intimately, deeply tied to how your actions affect the people around you. You have to understand your own well-being from the perspective of the entire hive. Because practicing Stoic virtue takes real, tangible action in the real world. Let's look at justice, for example. That means ensuring that all beings are treated fairly in your day-to-day interactions. And courage? That doesn't just mean being brave in the gym. It means deliberately facing uncomfortable situations for noble causes. It means actively calling out and countering injustice whenever it pops up. Your virtues absolutely have to benefit others. So let me throw a quick audit your way. Think about your life right now. When you spend your money, do you ever hit pause and consider the people who actually made the clothes on your back? Or the folks who grew the food you're about to eat? Being a part of the hive means recognizing these invisible threads. They connect your daily, seemingly small choices to the well-being of people you may never even meet.
And that leads us to our third and final rule: protect the physical hive.
The philosophy of the beehive forces us to expand our view even further. We have to look at the physical structure of the hive itself, our planet. We do not exist in a vacuum. How we treat all living beings and the natural habitats on Earth is a direct indication of our virtuous or vicious character. Stoicism teaches us to clear our headspace so we can do what's right, for the right reasons. And taking care of the physical world we all share, that's a massive part of the job.
To sum up everything we've been talking about today, the ancient Stoics were super explicit about rejecting the selfish, nice life in favor of the good life. A nice life is just about personal tranquility, tuning out the noise, chasing your own success. But the good life, that means clearing out your headspace specifically so you can do what is right for the wider society. They knew, without a doubt, that every single pursuit of personal virtue must be done with your eyes fixed firmly on the common good. So, the takeaway here is crystal clear. Instead of using Stoicism as just some isolated tool to build a better gym routine or hide from annoyances, use it to build a world actually worth living in. Embrace your role in the community. I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. What is one tangible action you are going to take today to benefit the hive? Give it some thought, apply it, and let's start building a better community together.